Alright, hey guys, we're back with another video, and today we have another suggestions video, and this is going to be part 2, or episode 2. So it's a new series that I started, because there are a lot of suggestions to pretty much with stuff to do in the game, and people wanting different changes and different concepts to be in the game. And on the forums, there's a whole section that is dedicated to it. There's a single player, there's a multiplayer section. Currently, I'm only going over the multiplayer what's it called? Suggestions, but I will do a couple episodes. I'll probably do to every 3 single player I'll do 1 multiplayer, because obviously there's a bigger focus on single player in terms of player count and also kind of like overall changes, right? But yeah, so in this video I'm gonna go over a couple of these threads. I'm gonna link all these threads that I go over below for you to go check out for yourself. I'm going to read them, I'm going to give my opinion, and we're going to go from there. And then if you want to comment down your opinion, which suggestions you think are good, which ones are bad, feel free to do so, you know what I mean? And without further ado, let's get to it. So I'm just going to pretty much cut it from each thread. So once I find a good enough thread to pretty much cover, I'm going to cut it to there. Alrighty, first one we have is Renown Decay for all clans. So pretty much the player has to say, Renown Decay is a necessary part of creating a living world in Bannerlord. The current system only allows clans to gain renown without ever being able to lose it, meaning eventually all clans end up tier 6 in theory. I would love to the implementation of % age renown decay over a certain threshold to stimulate the natural rise and fall of families as their empires/kingdoms crumble and they fade into oblivion. It would make for a great comeback stories and make the world feel less gamey and more alive and breathing. Okay, so pretty much your renown will go down, and then obviously your clan tier level will also go down, and depending on accomplishments that you do and stuff of that nature. It would make it more it's called lively. I don't know if this is going to be added to the game. If it was to be added to the game, probably way down the line, right? But I could see a mod for this that could possibly suffice and do a good job of it as well. Yeah, I agree. I think it should be a small number, or certain activities can boost it. So if you add a decay, right, then you should also add more things that we can do to boost, or you know what I mean, or to kind of like, let's say maybe pause the decay for like a month or something like that. Like different things you can do to kind of work around the decay and to pretty much grow, right? And then obviously if you're falling and you lose a lot of settlements and stuff, your decay will the decay will increase, because obviously you're losing, you know what I mean, obviously renown and all that, right? Yeah, starting at tier 3 says 4 somewhere. A clan needs to be able to perform to stay where they are. Fully agree. Okay, yeah, okay. If they're chilling around during peacetime, there are factions to conquer. They will suffer for it. I feel like there's obviously different ways to get renown than just fighting. So if they're chilling and doing nothing during peacetime, then yes, they will suffer for it, because obviously other kingdoms and factions, they're doing their thing to level up and they're doing nothing. But if you're during peacetime and you're increasing, let's say, workshop income, you're increasing upgrades to your castle, to your town, you're winning tournaments, then obviously your renown will still keep going up, right? They said +1 in warband, great idea. States that he never noticed it being in warband. He said, yeah, I would sit in towns learning books, and your max troops drop from doing nothing. It's crazy that warband has some really good things that Bannerlord doesn't. Trading fiefs, lords guarding their territory, feasts, renown decay, building up companions. The list goes on and on. We have trading fiefs, but I get where you're coming from. I'm not trying to nitpick or anything, but yeah, they definitely have stuff. But then again, warband is a finished game, and it's been finished for a very, very long time with a lot of additions to it as well. So I feel like Bannerlord, by the time it's as old as warband, will have more than warband. You know what I mean? And I'll stick to that as well, because I think that is going to be true. But that is my prediction, right? Alrighty, so that is the first thread. I will link it down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Next one, we have more culture difference. So just by the title, I agree. I think the culture in the game plays a very, 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 very small kind of, what do you call it? It's not a huge thing in the game. There's like what's it called? A policy or two about it. Obviously, you have the cultural bonuses, but just overall, culture doesn't feel like much in the game right now. And we're gonna see what he has to say. And yeah, plus all the kingdoms, that they're very, very similar in terms of what they do, in terms of what the troops and stuff they have, right? Obviously, because like every culture, even though the Khazaits mainly have horse archers, every other race has them too, stuff of that nature, right? They're very they're more similar than they are different, and I think they should be more different than similar, if that kind of makes sense, right? So so here's the player stating his suggestion. This game needs a lot more difference in the culture. Sadly, I stopped playing it after 60 hours. Tough. Because it is always the same. There's no difference between the factions. There's no new reason to play it again. Yeah, agree and disagree. But I see what you're coming from, that there is not much of a difference. But there should be, because we have Russian/Norse, we have Huns, we have European Knights, we have Byzantine, we have Arabs, and we have Old Celts. True. These factions have complete different culture, different behavior in battles and such things. In games like Total War or from Paradox, every culture has its own playstyle. This means you can start a new game with other factions and it feels different. Another game that does this very, very well, if you're into strategy games, is Age of Empires, especially Age of Empires 2. The HD edition is very popular right now. I do play it sometimes when I have time, but in that game, every single different, what's it called? What are they called? They're not called cultures. They're called civs, right? So different civilizations, and they all have unique units. A lot of them have a lot of unique play styles, because every single what would you say? Every single civilization has certain units unlocked, certain abilities unlocked, and certain ones that are not unlocked. And they're all, you know what I mean? They all have their advantages and disadvantages, and they're all very different from each other, right? At the same time being very similar as well. So I think that game does it very, very well. The only difference for me, actually, the Battanians and the Khazate things, forgot the name, because one army lacks in bows and horses, and need a complete different style for battles. Another is rich in horses and can shoot while riding, and lacks in infantry. This is good. Yeah, I agree. I would say the Vlandians also kind of stick out with crossbows, but yeah. But the rest factions always the same in battle. True. The Empire should fight like the Romans, few in numbers, big formations, a lot of discipline. They had a lot of numbers. Like Roman soldiers, they had, especially in their heyday, they had a lot of numbers. So they had big numbers, big formations, and a lot of discipline. Okay. I mean, maybe they shouldn't retreat as much. That would be kind of a different feature, because obviously Roman soldiers didn't really want to retreat ever. And then we have Battanians should be able to make ambushes in forest. True. Azrai should be feared by everyone because of their war elephants and weird horses, camels. They should kill the morale a lot with their non-existent war elephants. Bring back the war elephants. They were so good. So good. You know what I mean? They're so good. Come on. It's a unit A. If you haven't played Warband, go play Warband. And yeah, there's just some very, very good max level units that are very fun to play with. Next we have is Venice should be fight like knights with honor, man to man, longbows and crossbows, with a strong horse cavalry. Yeah, they kind of do, but yeah, with honor. Okay. And North should be brutal, a lot of morale, weak armor, berserkers. They should kill without any mercy. Yeah, I think. Look. So yeah, I agree with most of the stuff, right? And I feel like the Norse, they got absolutely played in this game. I'm gonna say it how it is. they were they were like the bad end of the joke in like for so long since the beginning. What's it called? Since the launch of the game, and I think that I don't know. There have been improvements, but I feel like they need an overhaul, and I think they need to be kind of more feared. You know what I mean? And a lot more stronger, because they were very feared. What's it called? Like let's say this game takes around what, the 1000s, around there, and back then the Northmen, or whatever they were called, right? They were very feared, especially by people like the Empire. They were very feared. You know what I'm saying? They were very different. They were much bigger in size usually, and yeah, like say right here, there should be a lot more brutal, and a lot of morale loss should happen, right? Next, I really wish me more differentiations in battles. Every battle is the same in most cases. I don't need any other tactics. Big truer. And on the overworld map, there's everything the same. Okay. So here's his suggestions, right? So North should go raiding more, take slaves, take prisoners, take wives from other lords, but don't conquer a lot. That is true. Okay, yeah, because okay, yeah. Don't conquer a lot, but at the same time take raid a lot. Makes sense? The Mongols/Hans should conquer a lot like they did half a year ago, but with a lot of sorry about that. Instability and rebellions because of the false culture, and broke like the Golden Horde. Well, they still do take over. They really have not, but you know what I mean? They've taken over since the start, and they still doing it, even though there's been a lot of kind of mini nerfs in my opinion, but they're still pretty strong. And he states a lot of instability and rebellions. That system is getting worked on, and we are going to see how it is implemented. The Empire should really did their civil war, and the winners should be more passive and defend against other factions. They should be more focused on politic intrigue. Who should be the next emperor and such thing. Okay, makes sense. A lot of politics. Obviously, the Senate they had in it. Yeah, makes sense. The Celts should be something between the Norse and the Empire. Okay, kind of a little bit of both. The Englander come from the sea in this world and should try to conquer it. So like the Vlandians. Okay. And the Arabs should be in dispute with everyone, which have the wrong culture, but still should be a big, rich trading nation. Sadly, no religion actually. Would be really cool with the Norse destroy temples, Vanish try to build new religion, Azar try to convert everything, and crusades, etc. True. Sorry, my English is wrong. It's not my main language. All good. All good. But yeah, we do understand you. I understand. They're very good suggestions. Very good suggestions. Whether all these will be implemented as changes or as mods, that's, you know, up for debate. Who knows, right? But I do agree. I think, you know, culture should play a way bigger role. Also religion as well, because during the times of the game, religion was huge when it came to decision making, when it came to how whole kingdoms were run. Very big, very big. Now what do people have to say? Please no longbows to Vlandians. I don't know why people like it, but I hate it. Normans do not have a record of using longbows, so it does not make sense from a historical inspiration standpoint. As for a lore standpoint, Vlandia is meant to be an ancestor of Swadia and the Rhotics, kingdoms that do not use longbows but rather crossbows instead. Okay. Changing the overall army composition could help, but could help make factions a bit different, but right now there is a bit of a rough difference. The Azrai have great all-round offense. The Battanians kind of suck aside from Fions. The Empire hold the monopoly of defense and unit variety. The Khazaits are the horse faction and are OP and notorious for their habit of snowballing. The Storgians could use some more refinement, but they get a unique shield wall. But please don't make their armor bad. Vlandia is the crossbow and lancer nation with anvil infantry. Yeah, true. But that shield wall does not do much. I'll be honest with you, does not do much. All right, let's move on to the next one. I will see you guys there. Alrighty, next one, upgrading workshops. Okay, so this has been a big, like a hot topic for a very long time. I am wondering how they are going to implement it. I'm pretty sure it's not a priority for them right now, but it is a thing that a lot of people want to see. So let's read it. Since the workshops have been tuned down, I was thinking, what better way than to not only make it attractive buying it, but become very profitable as investments. When I buy a workshop, an NPC generated steward will appear. Just for these kind of improvements in the matter of sale of production and buying raw materials. Playing other strategy games with the whole kingdom building, city building thing, and with the ability to improve our castles and cities. Okay, and one of my favorite franchise, Total War, I took some ideas and maybe it could be very favorable. I don't know if this word exists. Here it goes. Okay, so here are the suggestions. So smithy, obviously about 12,000 it would cost. Then the next level will be blacksmith, where I'm guessing you can create better. Better stuff is created and sold to the town. So that town will become kind of like a place that sells a lot better stuff, right? Whatever workshop is attached to it. Whatever town is attached to the blacksmith. Then we have the weaponsmith / armorsmith. So on level 3, you'll be able to make armors as well. I'm guessing that's how they want it. And then foundry is the level 4. The function will be the same, produce weapons and armors. As the level goes up in tiers in weapons and armors, and the price for such development will double at each investment, I think. Okay. Yeah. So let's just read the rest of this, and I'm gonna kind of give my opinion on how I would kind of do the upgrading of workshops. Then we have winery level 1, a large winery, a winemaker, and an amphory. I don't know what that is. Then we have wood shop, carpenter, wood tunnery, and joinery. Then we have velvet maker, weavery, and luxurious clothing shop. Then we have olive grove, olive press, olaria, and olive trader. I remember all of them, but this is one that I got from memory and time to write this post, but you get the idea. I do. So here's what I think. So in terms of upgrading workshops, right? So first, I agree that workshops should have I think it should be kind of like an upgrade tree. Now hear me out. There should be 2 ways to upgrade workshops. One is to go down the pretty much how the winery is, right? So you start with level 1, then you go to a level 2 one, then a level 3 one, then a level 4 one. You know what I mean? The production increases. Obviously, your upkeep cost increases as well. Obviously, that they have to buy the raw resources. They also have to get more employees since it's a bigger operation, and obviously you'll make more in return. I don't think it should be double. I think it should be like so this is 100%. Level 2 will be 130%. Level 3 will be like 155%, and then level 4 will be like 170%. I don't think it should get too crazy, but I think it should give you little percentages up, if that kind of makes sense, right? And so that's one way of doing it. And I think the next upgrade would be if you can create a shop that merges with another shop. All right, so here's what I mean by this. So you can pretty much get a velvet one, and what is it, linen? I think it's linen. So pretty much no. Okay, so you get a velvet weavery, and then also a a wool weavery, and then you can combine them too. So if you pretty much go to go to a town, and the town has you buy the one of the workshops, which is the velvet one, and then you buy the other one, which is the wool weavery, and then you pretty much have this option to combine them to make it into this big operation. And then and then you upgrade from there, those 2 shops combined together. It's going to need some more thought. That's just my basic idea of it, but I feel like combining shops so they can make unique items that cannot be made without this bonding of shops. I think that would be very cool. It would add a lot of new items to the economy overall, and I think it would be an ambitious idea in my opinion, but I would like to see it. In general, I like the idea of sinking more money mid-game, but gain more money long-term. But I am worried if we were to put another border for high-tier armor to be produced, high-level smithy, it would be even rarer than it is now. As it is now, it is hard to find top-tier items to buy, even in long years of campaigns. So this could go either way. If the AI could do it easily as the player can, then it could solve the top armor deficiency. Otherwise, it could make it worse. More so in the early game when there are less workshops around. Okay, I see his point. Obviously, it would be something that you have to like tweak, right? And over time, it will get better, right? But all right, boys. So that's gonna be it for episode 2. It's only been 3 this time, but they were kind of extensive ones. I am gonna keep this series going, and yeah, hopefully you guys found it, informative or anything like that. Ask me any questions, any concerns, and like always, stay safe.